If you assume the person in the corner office got there simply because they possess a higher IQ or raw talent, you are looking at the wrong variable. Look at this graph mapping workforce output based on 2024 research from McKinsey & Company. The flat line at the bottom represents the baseline output of an average knowledge worker. But this second curve that explodes upward tracks the top performers, who consistently deliver 400% more productivity in complex roles. A 400% gap is a systemic outcome. Top performers build that multiplier through the relentless execution of 5 specific interlocking daily habits. Right now, your career trajectory is moving along one of those 2 lines. You are either deliberately engineering your way into that top tier, or your default setting is pulling you back to average. Habit 1 is discipline. Motivation is unreliable and fluctuates based on external factors. High performance requires a structural system, a routine that locks heavy mechanical gears into place so that excellence becomes your default state. This chart visualizes a 2023 study by the American Psychological Association on cognitive tasks. The erratic bars are workers waiting for inspiration, while the consistently elevated baseline shows that individuals running structured routines outproduce their peers by 31%. In practice, this system means time blocking your calendar every Sunday. It means identifying the hardest, most impactful task on your plate and finishing it before 10 a.m., long before a barrage of emails and meetings can fracture your focus. Psychologists have found that public declarations significantly increase the likelihood of goal follow-through. To start that process of accountability, outline your specific non-negotiable morning task for tomorrow in the comments below. Without that structured routine, you have no foundation. Discipline is the silent internal engine that provides the necessary fuel for the next 4 habits to function. The second habit is an ownership mindset. According to LinkedIn's 2025 Workplace Learning Report, this is the primary behavioral pivot hiring managers look for. It requires shifting your focus away from the individual effort you put in and taking total responsibility for the final business outcome. When a project goes off the rails, an average employee immediately looks for a way to deflect the blame. A top performer's instinct is entirely different. They communicate the risk to their manager before it becomes a crisis, and they arrive at the meeting with a solution already mapped out. True ownership requires treating the company's budget, tools, and especially time as if they were your own personal investments rather than unlimited corporate resources. Pause and save this video. You will want it as a mandatory reference checklist before you begin your next high-stakes project. Moving the focus from effort to outcomes transforms the dynamic between you and the organization. You are no longer performing a role, you are protecting a shared investment. Here is a projection chart from the World Economic Forum's 2025 Future of Jobs report. It shows that within the next 5 years, 44% of your current core skills will be erased by AI and automation. To survive that disruption, Habit 3 is continuous learning. You cannot treat skill building as a reactive response to a mandatory corporate training module. It has to be a scheduled, non-negotiable daily activity. Top performers run a strict learning engine, 30 minutes of dedicated study every single day. And to lock in retention, they take that new information and actively apply it to a project or teach it to a colleague within 72 hours. Open your calendar app right now, find an empty 30-minute window, and set a permanent, recurring daily block for your own development. This daily routine creates a buffer against obsolescence, keeping your skill set relevant long after the baseline has shifted. Before we detail the final 2 habits, if you are actively using these strategies to accelerate your career, hit the like button, share this with a colleague, and subscribe to Corporate Elevate for more playbooks. Habit 4 dismantles the idea that brilliant work speaks for itself. It doesn't. If you execute perfectly in silence, your competence remains invisible to the people who decide your trajectory. This diagram visualizes Gallup's 2024 promotion data. An isolated employee rarely gets noticed, but a worker who proactively engages with cross-functional teams is 2.7 times more likely to receive stretch assignments and promotion recommendations. You build that visibility by volunteering to present brief updates in leadership meetings, publishing industry insights, and sending status emails that focus strictly on business outcomes rather than busy work. Send this video to a teammate so you can start publicly recognizing each other's wins and building reciprocal visibility. High-impact work requires a strategic voice. Visibility ensures your contributions are recognized as the assets they truly are. The final habit is mastering the velocity of feedback. Top performers make mistakes at the same rate as everyone else. They simply correct them faster. Look at this timeline comparison based on 2024 research from Stanford's Graduate School of Business. Professionals who actively solicit critical feedback advance their careers an average of 18 months faster than those who passively wait for an annual review. When criticized, an immature reaction is to get defensive and make excuses. A mature professional extracts the valid core of the critique, reflects on it privately, and replies within 48 hours with a documented action plan. Your micro-action for this week is to message your manager and schedule a brief one-on-one feedback session specifically outside of your normal review cycle. When you strip the emotion out of criticism and apply it methodically, you gain a massive competitive advantage, the ability to iterate and improve your skills exponentially faster than your peers. We have covered the theory, but holding this information in your head without executing it is entirely useless. This is your 30-day engineering challenge. For the next month, you will strictly implement one of these 5 habits per week, deliberately rewiring how you operate on a daily basis. Whether you are a fresher walking into day 1 of your first job, or an ambitious mid-level manager aiming for the executive suite, the rules of gravity here apply exactly the same. Extraordinary career success is never an accident. It is a meticulously engineered outcome, built on small, relentless daily choices. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss the next stage of your development.